Hey you guys, I just stopped work for a minute to come in and deliver a message that I was getting. I've been studying. I study a lot, like I study like I'm in school, which I am, I feel like. And I wanted to come on and share some of the things that I was getting, because it all goes back to us, to this new, it's like a newness coming in, like a new order to things, because of the mass awakening. The first thing that I got was hate and inflated egos along has caused a division in the collective as a whole up until now, and it crippled. It's like having an autoimmune where what was meant to help you turns against you, and it turns itself on itself. It's like it views parts of itself as foreign. And that's what it's been like for humanity for a while. Things have been out of order. Egos have been inflated. Masculine energy and feminine energy has not been balanced within each person or within the collective, as in male and female. That's all turning around, and right now things are being shaken up, and it feels like chaos, and it hurts because things as we know it have changed. We're being properly aligned, and sometimes an alignment does not feel good. It's like going to a chiropractor with a broken or going somewhere breaking a bone and them having to reset it. It's not going to feel good, but it has to be reset in order to heal so that it can function properly to maximum, so it can be, used. And I was led to study cells and what cells are made up of and how they operate and how the brain operates and how things come to be. And because it's going to help our entire being, we have to know what we're dealing with. I mean, we all have bodies, but we don't know a whole lot about our bodies because we weren't taught to study our bodies. It's like driving a car and not having any license to do so, never been really trained. You just out there. We have to go to school to learn other things, but we don't learn, like nobody ever really taught us the proper way to be human. It's innately in us, but egos and different other things have come in and turned ourselves on ourselves. So what was meant to be natural and normal, like, I hate to say the word normal, but for lack of a better word, natural to us to know, which is innately in us, has been in an uproar because there are things, the thing that is foreign is coming in, but in free will, people have free will. So just because something is supposed to operate a certain way does not mean that everybody's going to choose to operate in that way. And they have the right to choose not to. However, there is a consequence to everything, and there is a divine order. You can choose to follow it or not. So the example that I was shown is what cells are made up of, like the lipids, the proteins, all the different things that it's made up of. And that to me signifies what we're putting in our bodies, the energy that we're giving out, like what is in what we eat, and all the different things that we put into our body is going into the body of the collective as well. So if whatever we're doing and whatever we're putting in to our bodies ultimately comes out in the world. See, your cells cluster up and they make up, I guess, tissue, and then tissue makes muscles, and so on and so on. And then different types of tissue can make up an organ. And like, this is why I'm strongly urged to share this, because all of us are made up of different things because we have a different operation to do inside the body, the collective. And it has been that we look at the foot and say, oh, you're a foot, so that's not right because you're not a head, and da 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 da. We all got our place. Every religion, every whatever, everybody, everything has its place. What brings it all together is the common goal of having a healthy body and the collective, as a body. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So if I'm a foot and you a head, it doesn't make one better than the other one. It just makes us different. We're all forming a different function, which makes everything flow like it's supposed to. When you got too many people want to do the same function, it's going to create a monster. We need to celebrate and be glad when somebody is a foot and they functioning as a foot. Because if you ever thump your toe, your whole big body gonna be on the ground if you hurt a small member on your body. So that's why it's important to show love to even the most seemingly small things, because not everything small means that it don't have a lot of power. Some things are only small for strategic purposes, the purpose that it was made for. Some things are like are the way they are just because of the nature of what they're supposed to be or fulfill inside the collective. So instead of judging it and being, sending all this hate and being divided and turning on ourselves, we have to heal this selfishness, and egos and broken hearts from people with inflated egos. All of this stuff has to be healed. That's why what we put in our spiritual DNA is just as important as what we put in our natural bodies that form our DNA, because we pass things on. Generational curses and all of that start with what somebody had a choice to make. And people say, oh, I'm grown, I do what I want to do. Yeah, but like hundreds of years later, other people are going to have to pay for the curses that you brought into the bloodline for lack of discipline and dealing with yourself. So, and allowing spirit to transform you. So anything that starts and that comes out in our body always manifests from the spirit realm in other dimensions, as above, so below. So there's been new conceptions taking place because of the old being stripped away, whereas divine and masculine and feminine are coming back into proper balance, and they're reproducing because of this proper union. And not just in male and female, I mean masculine and feminine as in within us. Our masculine side and feminine side is balancing out. We're no longer, if your feminine side is out of balance and your masculine side is out of balance, chances are you're going to be out of balance and it's going to be toxic to other people. So I call that the free radical. It's like cancer cells. We don't want to be the cancer cell. So it's vital to us to be mindful about what we put in our spirits, and what we do with our bodies, because of this mass awakening that's taking place. Everybody that's waking up does not mean that they're in order. They're not in alignment. It can still be chaos. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of chaos and a lot of stuff going on where they're awake, but they're free radicals. So they're working overtime. So we have to align ourselves so that we can form the tissues and the cells and the tissues and the organs that we are supposed to do. Light workers are, in my opinion, and this is what I was given, we are the cells that make up the tissue that make up the heart space of the universe. Source works through us to get to other people. That's why we have tolerance for things that most people wouldn't. That's where our unconditional love comes from. It's a gift. It's not something that is made, like what we're made up of. It's not something that is going to exist in certain parts of the bodies. It's just like your kidneys and different other organs. Our skin as a whole, some of us are making up the heart. Some of us are making up the skin. The skin is the largest organ on your body. But without your heart pumping and your kidneys working and your liver functioning, there's all different types of tissues that form these different types of organs. All of them are needed. So, we need each other. We need each other to survive and to thrive. We need to learn to love and harmonize and agree to disagree, because the reason why people are disagreeing is because they're not part of your tribe. They're not part of the organism, the cell group that's making that particular organ. But we still need them for the entire being. So we have to learn to get along. We have to learn to let parts of the ego die and learn to love, because inflated ego and love cannot reside in the same place. That being said, some of us are linking up with tribes, and our tribe may not look like us. They may not even be our skin tone, may not be from the same background, but spirit is thicker than flesh. Please be mindful that spirit is thicker than flesh. Sometimes we get caught up on the flesh because it's caused us so much pain, but we have to get over that now, because we're needed. We're needed because these energies have got to balance. So no matter what meat suit that you chose to come here in, take care of it. And I'm not saying let people run over you, because of course, like I said, it's not so much the skin color, the background. It is the inflated ego and the selfishness that has made narcissistic tendencies and just take over the world, especially those that are in countries that have what we call free countries. It's a great thing and it's a privilege and an honor, but it's also a catch-22, because people are so selfish and greedy and wasteful, and just we have to take better care, because we have almost all but destroyed the earth and every human in it because of our selfishness and addiction to comfort. Our heart is the center of our being, but those of us who work light and help other people and love on people, and we are the cells in the tissue that create the muscle that keeps it. So keeps the universe running, keeps the earth from being destroyed totally. If you took every light worker out of the earth, it wouldn't take long for it to shut all the way down and just self-destruct all the way. This has not always been a fun journey for us, and things have happened to us. It seemed like it wasn't fair, but it was to work that stuff out of us that was in us, from like DNA and bloodlines and all types of things that people made agreements and deals with long before we made it to this realm, that really harmed us and poisoned some of us. Like, it made us turn opposite to what we were supposed to be. And now people are coming into play where they're coming into their callings and their gifts, and it's helping to unblock the heart space of the universe. It's helping to heal the wounded healers. It's healing on a molecular level in order to prepare us to open the way for the rest of the body, the collective, to align themselves, to wake up in a healthy environment and to be healed and balanced, and then so they can be activated, so we can all vibe higher. However, there are those who use their free will to rebel. They refuse to do what their purpose is on the earth, and they're hurting those that are sent to help them. And if we don't heal, we'll hurt people that are sent to help us. That's why it's very important to work on our personal heart space, so that we can be properly aligned and the heart of the universe can be properly functioning, and be in peace and harmony. So some people have lost their birthright and their gifts and their rewards because of the ego and pride and hate and pain. There are marriages and families broken up right now because of pride and ego. People chose their pride and ego over their family, over their own children, over their wives and husbands, and they don't care about the ones that's here with them now or the ones that's in the future. They just want to do what they want to do. No love in them. I mean, even the Bible speaks about that. I mean, even if you're not Christian, you got to understand and see that some parts of that stuff, it was taken from other places, but it still does not mean that it's all a lie. At the end of some of the last times, people will be lovers of themselves, having unnatural desires, and all this other stuff is crazy. It's really crazy. They lawless, they'll do anything. It's like they have no soul. Like part of them is missing. And it's the part of them that they threw away. They chose it. So now there's a lot of people in spiritual jail or headed that way because they, until they finally agree, either in this lifetime or another one, to learn the lesson. Unfortunately, some of these people may never change. Some of them are close to us. Some of them are family, friends, whoever. That's why it's detrimental to our own spiritual and natural health to look inward and deal so we can heal. Even more so now than ever. Please don't lose your birthright and your gifts and your calling being triggered by people that are already in trouble, because misery loves company, but we're not going to give it any. Some of us just barely made it in the first place, and we already done been in spiritual court, and we on probation right now. So to be honest, we need to take honest looks. I don't care who it is and how sweet that we think we are. We need to explore that shadow side, do that shadow work, go on and do whatever we got to do to find out what's in us that needs to go, free ourselves from these contracts that we made, and feed ourselves naturally and spiritually. We need to feed ourselves mantras, scriptures, healing frequencies, music, drums, whatever it is that helps you to heal, edify your entire being so that we can function. Treat yourself like you're a baby. You wouldn't put a newborn or even a pregnant woman, you shouldn't expose them, or it's not natural to want to expose them to harmful things. So don't expose yourself to harmful things. Mother yourself. If you haven't had a proper mothering, then allow the divine to show you what that is so that we can function like we're supposed to. Study yourself. Study like you in school, because we are in school. We're learning how to heal our spirits and live as healthy bodies and beings in this realm. Our most important asset in this realm is our body. It's our temple. We live inside of it. We live inside of it. And we always talk about, it's like a fad right now. People talking about honor your ancestors, honor your ancestors. Well, you know where the most important ancestor altar that we will ever have? It's in our heart and in our DNA. And what are we doing to honor our ancestors with our being? Where can we possibly have something that we can upgrade on and do better? Some people died trying to make our lives better for us, those that are love and light, and they still working on the other side. So what are we going to do? We need to make our choices now, because things are shifting really fast. And we need a lot of real unconditional love so that we can have harmony and peace. Pure energy that don't have any wires that are loose. Everybody connecting and doing the nerves that connect everybody. There are some people that are just nerves. They connect other people. They connect people to other beings. And that's vital too, because if one nerve gets severed, it can stop the function of a whole part of your body. So we need to just honor each other, honor our ancestors by honoring each other. They get along on the other side. They're in their higher self. Their ego is not all out of control, unless, we got some that are stuck in limbo because they chose not to in this realm. That being said, the more we feed into, we can undo some of the things that have been done and come to equilibrium and have complete homeostasis by what we choose to allow in our own personal being. We cannot control other people, but we can be a good example of what we should be doing, and we can do our part. So I didn't get on here to beat anybody up. It's just that we've been talking about protecting ourselves and protecting our aura a whole lot, and this is the reason why we have to do it. We're birthing a new age, and some of us, we agreed to these contracts. All of us did, actually, and we need to honor our contract. We don't like when people renege on stuff with us, so we don't need to renege on the universe and get here and then act like we done lost our minds and have to be renewed in the spirit of our mind repeatedly to remind us of what we agreed to. There's nothing worse than having something in writing and then a person not honor what they said in writing and you got to take it to court. Well, that's what's been happening. Some of us didn't honor what we were supposed to do and what we agreed to before we came to this realm, and so spirit had to drag us to court. We before the council now. And some of us, needed that reality check to know that, okay, yes, we are part of a collective and we do have our own, wants and needs and everything. But if we destroy each other, then we're destroying ourselves. You cannot hurt another person without hurting yourself. So even though we don't intentionally do it, whenever we do it, we need to be mindful and learn from that. If someone says something is not to be manipulated or all that stuff, we know the difference, I'm sure. But if something is hurting you, then you're hurting other people. It's just like having someone who has a really bad addiction in your house, and that person might be the sweetest person in the world, and they got this addiction though, and when they own whatever it is that they own, they create wounds in their children that is going to take those children probably lifetimes to fix. Okay, that's how it is with us. We might not mean to do it, but we have to be mindful about what we allow in, because it can cause us to react, to act a certain way and do a certain thing that will harm people for generations to come. And we didn't even intend to do it. It's just that we didn't set our intentions not to do it. We didn't set our intentions on what we were going to do, and we weren't proactive, and then we were reactive and instead, and this is what happened. It's a chain reaction. Somebody's got to break the chain. And if you're here and if you're listening to me, I'm sure that you were led here by, for a reason. I am going to pull a couple of cards. I don't need them, but I know in the world where we have to deal with egos, people like to see an illustration of what spirit is saying, and sometimes it helps for visual, Wow. This is on the bottom of the deck. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. And that is so true, that this is our tribe. Like, where if you're led here, then I don't care if I've never laid eyes on you. We're part of a tribe. If you're led here out of love and light, and we always pray for protection, and we have protection from our angels and ancestors. God, the source, is looking out for us because our intentions are pure. As long as your intentions are pure, you can't go wrong with that. Have pure intentions and love. The great gathering is all coming together. Intuitive Hits Soul Tribe. Y'all, I can't make it up. I cannot. Look at all these people. Look at all these these spirits coming together. It's a great gathering. All these cells gathering up to make up what they need to make up. Things are crumbling down around us because it had to be rebuilt. We're keepers of the earth. We're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Yes. See that angel, ancestors? We got a whole spirit team and stuff. That's even animals. Some of these animals, they're here to show signs. And there's an elephant on this card too. And I know that elephants are like road openers. They open the way. They're heavy. They're kind-hearted, but they're heavy, and they can open something. That rite of passage, that birthright that I was talking about, crossing the threshold. When it got time to go through this door, some people couldn't go. Some of them were really nice and sweet and all this other stuff, but they refused to deal with the hurt and the pain and let go of the old and let go of some of those energy vampires. They didn't even have the strength to walk through because there's a broken heart. They wouldn't allow themselves to heal. The pain became a crutch. So you see all this darkness back there, and then you look through there and there's a light. There's the main artery up there. All of that. It's even shaped like a heart. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Y'all, we really can't make this up. Like, look at this. No way. Align your life. What is not aligning or needs to go? See? See? I'm telling you. If you let it go, it won't have to be ripped from you, and you don't want to end up in the jail with some of the people that you helped put there. Because, see, you know, they already in jail. They want to make you trigger you so you can end up in there with them. And Lord have mercy, some of us done help people get free from a lot of stuff. And some of those people mad at us because we help their victim get away. So we going to end up in the same jail cell with them? Cell. Keep remembering the word cell. Cell groups. You done changed cell groups and went over here and switched yourself into what you weren't, because you refused to heal when you could. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Walk through that door, walk through that porthole, and go in there and take back what's yours and have dominion? That's what I would do. So those are the cards that came out for this. And this is the Work Your Light Oracle, y'all. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Y'all, I'm done. I am so done. Channeling and uplifting humanity. And I'm led to read the book's definition on this one. And I'm looking at this blue. This blue is healing. Blue represents healing. And it also is like your throat chakra, and your crown area is like some colors that resemble that. And pleaded, hold on, y'all, I gotta read this. I feel like I need to say what's in this actual book for this card, because this just sums up the whole everything I just got done talking about. It's like the transmission of it all. It's just whoa. I mean, and this is masculine bodies and masculine energies and feminine energies up here. And it's like they just like crystals around them. They everywhere. And the stars and just light beings everywhere. People aligning themselves and being caught up. And folks say, hey, there's not no rapture. Yes, it is. It's a rapture, all right. It takes place when you vibe high and you bring folks and elevate people and uplift humanity. That's the rapture. That's my opinion of it anyway. It's a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnated on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul, I got chills, who has a double mission to grow at a soul level to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, to speak, or to channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, the Pleiadians are the chastest and perhaps the chattiest, and perhaps you already started channeling some of this work in the third dimension, in the 3D. Thank you for doing your part in a great plan. Your presence is unique. Light is needed. I call upon the Pleiadian consciousness of the highest realm, the highest good of humanity, to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of essence of source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. I'm done, y'all. I'm over here almost just about to run around my apartment and go start raving like nuts, like seriously, because I was not even planning to pull cards, but this is exactly what I mean. I don't need the cards because I'm channeling this energy, and it's beautiful. And all these just the colors. And green, the green always represents the heart space, green or red, but this is a lot of colors. People coming out of the shadows and out of the darkness and finding out what's really important, and knowing that, finding out that it's not always material things. Yes, they're needed, but it's not always material things that makes a person wealthy. Nothing is more wealthy than this energy. Having this type of energy. This is why I was talking about before about people just being mad, because you are who you, all you did was be yourself, but that energy is so popping, and it don't matter how much clout and money they have or whatever stuff they have, they still show up in a room, and you don't have to say a word. You don't have to tell people anything. They just see it. They just see it because it's who you are. Opening your heart, getting to know each other. And in this case, this is a love date, but I pulled it because that's what's going to happen with these tribes. We're opening our heart and we're meeting new people and we're getting together, and it's going to be perfect. People say, oh, nothing is perfect. Yes, it is. I believe that's a perfect place of peace is what really is considered hell. I mean, heaven. And hell is what's considered like a place where you don't know what it is to love completely. The place of peace. These people loving and I mean the romance coming between the masculine and the feminine, and then they reproducing children that are made from love and not lust. Y'all, it's beautiful what I'm looking at. It's beautiful. It really is. It took us a long time to get in the state that we're in, like, collectively. And it may take a long time to get better. But, like, please, let's just do our part, man. Let's just do our part. Let's do our part, y'all. Me included. We can help keep each other encouraged. That's the whole point of this page, is so people can come here and find some help. Because some of this stuff is strong, but the love is stronger. Love can fix anything. It really can. It does not mean that we let things and people walk all over us and we just go doing anything and we always head in the clouds and so heavenly minded till we ain't no earthly good. No. Part of us taking care of ourselves and showing love is to the collective is not allowing those who have already not been condemned, but they gave over their birthright by choosing wrong. We can't let them come in. Like, we can send them love and light, but we cannot let them destroy. We can't let them destroy. And if our heart ain't healed, we'll just cling on to anything because we're trying to fill a void. So this is love from a standpoint of, I would say, not really always tough love, but yeah, sometimes it's going to include tough love. Sometimes it's going to include discipline. You got to stick to your guns and have your boundaries so that you can protect, because you got to help protect the people that did make the choice to do what they're supposed to be doing. So protecting yourself and your own energy and saving it for people that want it, that are going to use it for the right purpose. You will know the difference. And some of us come from backgrounds where we were like maybe abused and all this other things, and it tainted our gift a little bit because it made us want to be wanted all the time and needed and like have this urge to be accepted because we didn't have that. And we were always manipulated. So it makes it hard sometimes when you have to let go of people that you really love because they're choices. But always know that you are not alone, and that there's some other people that's not only got your natural DNA, they got your spirit DNA, and they of the same kind. They are your tribe. They making up the same organ that you making up, and they're going to love you. Whatever you bring to the table, they're going to love you. It's going to be an equal give and take. Whatever one don't have, the other one gonna have it and give it freely. And nobody jealous of nobody else's gifts and talents. And we're celebrating each other. Nobody gonna go without anything, so it ain't no need and no room for jealousy. If one got it, then all of us got it. If one got some energy, all of us gonna have some, because it's an equal give and take. It circulates because it's not brokenness is not in there. The wires connect, the nerves connect, the tissue is, the muscle is working like it's supposed to. It ain't no lazy muscle laying over there getting flabby and being atrophy, having atrophy to take place because you're too lazy to get up and move around and do your job. We don't have that. We're not going to have that. We're not. There's going to be people that come, and it's not going to be so few and far between. That's the awesome thing about people waking up, because awakening is painful and it causes you to look at yourself, if you will. And it makes you want to be a better person, because when your eyes are open and you see what you really look like. That's what awakening is. When you see what you really look like. If you still looking at everybody else and trying to figure out what's wrong with them, then you might be awake, but you sure ain't aligning. So it's not going to always be everybody else. This walk is about us. The only reason the universe allows some of those other people to come around us is to teach us what's in us that need to be fixed and healed, so that we can operate like we're supposed to. And once we learn that lesson, we don't have to be connected to them anymore unless we choose to. And that's up to you. That's your choice. But be mindful. Sometimes you can be guilty by association. Bad company corrupts good character. People will trigger you. So I'm just saying. But anyways, just thought I would stop in to share that with you all. I know it's long. I know it's a little bit heavy to some people. Taking responsibility for ourselves should be what we're looking at the most right now. I mean, I know there's a lot of talk about people want to find out, well, what is this divine masculine doing? What is this divine feminine doing? What is my twin flame doing? Da 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 da. Baby, we need to get ourselves together. The rest of that stuff, if it's for us, will fall into place. Otherwise, honestly, I will appreciate it and open to it if it comes. But if it don't, if it's not for right now we need to be working on ourselves and vibing to the high, so that we attract that person or those people who are for us. Can't get it until we let go of toxic stuff. And it's always going to try to come back. So fill the spot so it ain't got nowhere to land. Fill it with something good. All right. You all be blessed and have a good day.